Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Serena and in today's video we're going to be sewing a Hermes inspired Kelly bag by hand with a DIY leather kit. Everything that you need to sew up this bag comes in this kit. This was gifted to me and I am so excited to share the process with you guys because I am in love. If you're new to sewing, you don't have a sewing machine, but you want to start sewing, I think this kit is wonderful because you don't need anything but what comes in the kit. This kit was sent to me to share with you all from babylonleather.com. I got the Kelly bag in caramel, and this is the medium size. With this kit, there's no need to purchase any supplies, including scissors. All you'll need is a lighter. Once you receive your kit, there's a QR code that you can scan that will lead you to an instructional video on their official YouTube channel. The first thing I learned was how to thread the needles. This is waxed thread, so it glides smoothly through the leather. Once the thread is through the eye of the needle, instead of a traditional knot, you just sew back through half of the thread, and that locks the thread in, and you do that on both sides. Then I learned the double needle stitch method, which is used to put the entire piece together. So once you figure out how to sew with the double needle, then you've pretty much got it locked in. And from there on, you're just piecing it together using the exact same stitch throughout. Now, I was aware of Babylon's leather handbag kits long before they reached out to me, and I actually planned on making one myself by purchasing the kit. I figured I'd get around to it eventually. Me and Drew have had many conversations about me purchasing this kit and us doing it together. I guess I took too long because they reached out to me first, so instead of just accepting one kit, I did request that they send me a second one since I had planned on buying one anyway. I wanted to sew one at my leisure so I could work out all of the learning curves before having to film a video for you guys. So I asked for the small version of this Kelly bag in the peacock blue. And I decided that I was just going to lay in bed and work on it and take my time watching the video. I think it was estimated to take 10 hours to do. I got so lost in the process, it took me 7 hours to do completely from bed. The fact that it's one single stitch means you can really get into a groove once you've figured out how to do it, and you can enjoy making this while watching TV, listening to podcasts, or this video. This kit was labeled as beginner friendly, and I did side-eye that a little bit because I feel like knowing how pieces go together when it comes to sewing helps tremendously. But this is so straightforward that it's very obvious, even to someone who's not familiar with garment making or even piecing patterns, that the main large piece is the body piece, and then there's two side pieces. Like it's very obvious what goes where. So that takes the guesswork out of that. And then learning a single stitch is very easy and beginner friendly. So you can't really rush because you're hand sewing. So I do believe that it's beginner friendly. And I also say that because I am not very good at hand sewing. It is something that I've been very open about when it comes to struggling. I love sewing machines so much that I've been able to really lean into using my machine, and I've not mastered hand sewing like someone of my sewing capability. So this was very beginner for me. And so I do have to agree that this kit is beginner friendly. And the fact that it comes with an instructional video instead of written instructions and diagrams like a garment pattern, I think it's very approachable. So to finish off a stitch, you just back stitch like you would on a machine, and then you flip it over, cut the thread short, and burn them so that way it doesn't unravel. It's important to note the front and the back of your purse when you're working with it. So the front of the purse is usually the darker side, but that's not always going to be the case. So the side with the bigger holes will be the front, and on the inside, the holes will appear smaller. To help you differentiate the two, you could go in with tape or a sticker and mark the wrong side so that way, once you get going, you don't have to second guess yourself. Because I made the smaller version prior to making this video, the process was actually even faster. Recording is what slowed down my pace. So instead of going to the instructional video, I tried to get in all of the details on the medium size that the small did not have. So the little white stitches around those holes for the buckle, that's not on the smaller size. So before I even started filming, I tried to get this one to the state that the small one was. So that way, at that point, I could just follow all the steps from memory. And that definitely sped up the process instead of having to watch the video and stopping and starting as much. And keep in mind, even with stopping and starting, I managed to finish the small one in 7 hours. While I don't have the recording of how long it took me to make this one because I was filming, I feel like I probably could have made this medium in 7 hours or less as well. After getting those finer details done, it's time to give the bag some structure and strength. So here's where the bottom piece goes on. Now, because I'm sandwiching in two pieces of leather, and it seems as though that bottom piece is also interfaced, I went ahead and put on these like gripping gloves on my fingers that was provided in the kit to sew these pieces together. When I made the small version of it, I did not use these because I'm not very good with things covering my fingers, which is also why I don't like to hand sew. However, my fingers were hurting for at least 2 days after making the first kit. And with this one, because I did utilize these grippers that was in the kit, I completed this pain free. They also provide you with a binder clip, which you can use to hold two pieces together since you cannot pierce leather with pins because it will leave a permanent mark. I should mention that I'm not really big on purses. I usually just carry my wallet and keys, and unless I'm going to a special or formal event, I'd prefer not to carry a purse because it just feels like too much, especially with two littles, and I have to keep my hands on them as well, like holding their hands and stuff. I feel like a purse can just be too much. And ever since they were old enough for me to stop carrying a diaper bag, I never returned to purse carrying, although I used to be big into having purses before becoming a mom. I say that now, but since making the blue purse, there hasn't been a time that I've left the house without it. I think there's a certain level of pride and, of course, the time that it took for me to make it that makes me want to wear it more than any purse that I've ever made. I think every single one of those white stitches is a reminder of all the care that it took to make it come to life. And even though I don't necessarily advertise my work when I'm out and about, it's me knowing that I made it that makes me want to carry it. Once the bottom of the bag is sewn on, then I take the time to put the feet on. This step is much later in the process if you follow the video tutorial, but I found when I made the first bag that it was a little bit more difficult to tighten up the feet when the bag was completely closed. So I decided to do it now. The feet are far enough away from the stitches, especially on the medium bag, that it doesn't get in the way of sewing up the rest of the bag later. Then I put these little plastic protector caps on my feet while I work so they don't accidentally get scratched while I move the bag around. I love that they provided a tiny screwdriver in the kit because as someone who services her own machines, I can never have too many of these things. While the bag is still open, I start sewing the belt on. You start that by just adding the stitches on separately, and then when you get close to the part that's on the bag, you sew it on and then work your way back around. If I'm not mistaken, one of the very first steps is to sew up the handle, which I did off camera to save time, especially since the exact same stitch all the way throughout. I love that in the tutorial that they have you do all of the more accessory type things first, like the key holder and the handle first. So by the time you're working on the actual bag, you've already gotten a hang of this two needle stitch. This is a very travel friendly project. That's another reason why I agreed to working on these kits because as I stated in previous videos, I am out with my mom for the summer and I didn't want to take a lot of things with me. So I was able to sew this up without substituting any of the materials that I already had. And one of the big advantages for me is that the kit came with thread snips. And as you can see from my last video, I'm sewing with the bare minimum. So I didn't have those in my kit with me at my mom's house. So now I have two pairs since I got two kits. The hardware goes in very easily. You just pop these on the belt on and then you screw the one on the lid. I will say that I prefer the hardware on the belt for the small kit better because those also screw in. And I'm worried about how those that are just held in with friction will hold up over time. The bag does come with an extra strap that's already pre-sewn, so it can be a crossbody, but I like to carry things as a handbag and not have things hanging off of my person. The last step is to attach the key lanyard as well as the lock, and this is the finished product. If you would like to give this a try, you can use my code where I will get a small commission, Rena10, for a discount. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to support me any further, you can leave me a virtual tip over on Ko-fi or become a bobbin over on Patreon. We'd love to have you.